final blunder, this is just seriously a blunder, is what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy new year, happy 2023. My gosh, I can't believe it's 2023 already, guys. So I haven't done a sit down video in a while. It's been vlogs, but I really wanted to do this, especially as a chartered accountant. I am doing my personal financial year-end review. So 2022 is over, so I'm reviewing my personal finances, what went right and what went wrong, so that I know what I can improve on for 2023. So remember, none of these videos are financial advice. If you want personal financial advice that's tailored to you, please consult with a personal advisor that is registered with the FSCA. One thing I've learned from the chartered accountancy profession is that you need to review your performance so that you can plan better for the following year. So I reviewed my performance in terms of my personal finances so that I can do better. So I identified 7 wins and 4 areas of improvement, and I'm going to mention them right here. I don't want this video to be too long, so let's dive right in. The first thing is that I managed to increase my income, which was great. So that's my first win. I got a new job in 2022. I started in February with a new company, so this obviously did increase my salary a little bit, and it didn't only obviously assist me, but it did assist me in terms of my contribution around the running of our household, and in terms of also just being a blessing to everyone else around me, because guys, when you are blessed, obviously you are blessed to be a blessing, right? So that was my standpoint. Point number 2 was that I didn't cash in my pension. So I'm not measuring myself on things that I just did, but also things that I didn't do. So a lot of people cash in their pensions when they move employers. Then you're like, hey, let me extend my house, or let me pay off my bond, some of it, because it couldn't be enough. Oh, my pension can't even cover my bond. It's so sad, guys. But anyway, so for me, I made sure that I move the full amount of my pension to the new pension provider with my new employer, and not take any of that money, because it does accumulate over time. I really have learned from analyzing the numbers that it's good to just keep your pension and not keep cashing it out, because you benefit from basically that time value of money, the increase of your money over time. And I started early with my pension fund, so there's no need for me now to take myself a few years back by cashing in that money. Win number 3 is that there was no credit card use. So when I moved employers, I had to change banks because I am in the banking industry, and so I decided not to open a new credit card, and I decided to basically close my old one, because I was in the process of closing some of my accounts from my previous employer. And this helped me in the sense that I was very cautious of my spending, because previously I wasn't necessarily abusing my credit card, but there's always that, man, if I'm running short, I can always go with the credit card. So for me, I was very conscious of my spending, so that helped a little bit to lower my spending rate, because I knew that I couldn't just tap it into my credit card. I was really mindful of that. So I currently don't have a credit card. It is scary, but yeah, in Feb I'll be celebrating, oh yeah, of not using a credit card. So that for me was huge. My 4th financial win is that I started buying groceries at a shopping center, because we moved houses, right? So previously I would shop at a shopping center or mall. So now I do my groceries purely at a shopping center, which means there are fewer shops that can distract me, because sometimes when you shop at a mall, you see clothing shops, then you want to buy that, then you want to buy this. So at that specific shopping center, there aren't as many shopping outlets, so I specifically go into a specific shop for my toiletries, and I also go into the specific grocery shop. So that for me was really a win, because it also made me save on parking. I didn't go to malls as much because I've been burnt, guys, when it comes to parking, especially guys, parking is expensive. So I've just made sure that I try to identify shopping centers, especially the ones that don't need you to pay for parking, and that's where you will find me, at a shopping center that does not require me to pay for parking. I can't necessarily quantify the amount, but I know myself, I can be quite spontaneous. I'm an impulsive spender, so sometimes I'll be like, let me get that, it's on sale, even though obviously I wasn't spending to spend that 100 rand anyway. So even if it's marked down from 200 to 100, it doesn't help that money is going out of my account. So I've just been aware of where I shop and trying to limit my costs parking wise and my distractions in terms of shopping for things that I don't need, because there's just so much available wherever I'm shopping at. So small shopping centers is what I prefer now. Another win is that I maxed out my tax-free savings account again. So my goal is to always max out my tax-free savings account, so I did that. I think this is the 3rd or 4th year in a row where I've done that. I'm really proud of myself for that, because it takes a lot, man, to just be like, you know what, I'm not going to use this. And once I put it into the tax-free savings account, it means I should not should not access that money, because it needs to grow long term, because there is that lifetime limit of 500,000. So if you withdraw, then that means you can't put in any much more, and I do plan on being very wealthy. So if that's the case, I'm going to be needing something that's tax-free, so that I don't pay as much tax. So that's why then I'm utilizing these facilities right now. So I'm really proud of myself for maxing out my tax-free savings account. Another thing that's a win is that I had a dedicated emergency fund, or liquid emergency fund. So I've got an emergency fund that's a little bit bulky, so that if I've got like a huge emergency, I can attend to that emergency. But then I have a liquid emergency fund. By liquid, it means I can tap into it quickly. So by that, instead of having my credit card that I told you that I no longer have, I just made sure that I have this liquid facility, which was more or less equivalent to what my credit card account balance used to be, which wasn't a lot. So I have the savings account that is my liquid emergency fund, so that I can access it whenever I need. Sometimes I'll be in the queue, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm finishing all the money that I've allocated to myself. Then I transfer from my liquid emergency fund into that checking account that I swipe with. So that's one thing that has really assisted me in terms of my spending. It's basically that jar that I allow myself to take in and out, but I know that when I start taking from that jar, I know that it means it's shaky, because previously that would have been my credit card, but now it's this fund that I've dedicated for that. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then the final thing that I'm proud of myself for, or that is a win, is the fact that I reinvested most of my dividends. I reinvested a lot of my dividends during 2022, and that just meant that I was not cashing it out and spending willy-nilly, and it made my investment base can grow, because every time if I'm getting dividends of like 500, then I repurchase the shares, then my portfolio was growing. So I'm really proud of myself for that, and my dividends are actually a sizable amount now. It's a couple of thousands. I'm like, yo, I'm growing in this investment thing, where previously it used to be 20 cents, 23 rands, you know, like those small amounts. So I'm really proud of myself for the growth for that. There are other wins probably that I haven't mentioned, but these are the ones that just have really stood out for me, and they're mainly the processes. It's not necessarily the monetary amounts, but the processes. And one final win that I almost forgot about is that I managed to pay for my daughter's school fees fully before the end of 2022. So my goal, or our goal as a family, is to make sure that the kids' school fees, if we're getting discounts from the school, are paid a year in advance. So in December 2022, I pay for 2023 school fees in full, so that I can get that early payment discount. Sometimes it's like 5%, 7%, 10%. It just depends on the school and the year. So my child is starting grade 1, big school now. So for me, it was really important for me to say, hey, let's pay that in full. And that's also because I've been working towards building up that amount so that I could do that. So that's really one of the other wins that I say I'm celebrating for 2022, and I need to still incorporate that into my 2023. This now takes me to the second part of this video, which is now the areas of improvement. So my investment portfolio didn't grow as much. It grew because I was reinvesting my dividends and putting amounts here and there, but I wasn't as consistent in terms of this is the set amount that I'm investing every month and I'm putting it in. No two ways about it, no. And this is mainly because I am working on towards repaying debt, and obviously I was also building my liquid emergency fund. So for me, there wasn't, or investing wasn't necessarily a priority for 2022, so my base didn't really grow that much. But this was also because of Cyril's economy.
Is this a love are we gonna live? Really, Ramaphosa, are you okay? This is not a life we need to live in South Africa.
I'm just obviously blaming Cyril, but it's the economy right now. There just is not as much disposable income. Interest rates have increased, so like you're paying more. For example, us, we purchased the house in 2021, so it means we're paying way more than we were paying in 2021. In 2022 we paid more because of the constant increase in rates. So all of those things, and the increase in petrol prices and the increase or the hikes in electricity prices, increase in everything, guys. So those are the things that I feel really did squeeze my disposable income. So I wasn't necessarily able to invest as much as I did in previous years when interest rates were low, the economy was just, it was fun, it was buzzing. So I felt the pinch, guys, and I felt like, is anyone else feeling what I'm feeling? I don't know about you guys there, but the pinch is there, guys. I feel it daily. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, and I'm that girl, I'm that girl who used to go to the petrol station and be like, full tank. I drive for 2 weeks, full tank. So now I'm just like, full tank after payday, and then I drive for only a week and it's finished, and I don't have enough in my account to be like full tank again. No, now I'm like 200 and I can drive another 2 days or a day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to put in another 500. Let's limit it to 1,000 even after payday. Sometimes I'm not like full tank, I'll be like, let's limit it to 1,000, put 1,000, because like my full tank is gonna be so much. So I feel like Cyril's economy has been really tough, guys, and yeah, I felt the pinch. New job and all, I really felt the pinch. So that's why I really didn't invest as much as I have done in the previous years. Another area of improvement, my second one now, is that I did not increase my pension fund contributions. So when I worked at my previous employer, whenever I would get an annual increase, I would also increase the percentage that my employer withholds for pension. For example, I think the initial percentage was, let's say they withhold 6% of my gross or of my pensionable remuneration as pension, it goes towards pension. Then I would say add an additional 2 or 3% so that they withhold more. That just meant my net income was a little bit less, but I was contributing to my pension, which was great. It also just means a little bit less tax. So that's what I was doing. So when I moved to my new employer, my new pension fund, I did not continue with that. I just took whatever they withhold, the bare minimum, that's 6% if I'm just comparing, and we're like, okay, cool, continue with that. So that's something that I'm hoping I can incorporate in 2022, that I can go and increase the amount that they withhold for my pension. But I just felt like I didn't have enough money available to increase that, but I do really want to increase how much I save for retirement via my pension fund. The third area of improvement is lifestyle creep. I saw it coming through. I kind of increased my standard of living somewhere, somehow. I was buying more from work. We started going to work once a week, and then at some point it was twice a week, and then back to once a week. And a lot of those times I was buying food from the restaurant because it was a new area. I wanted to check out their food, but I ended up buying food almost like every week. So that then obviously it's lifestyle creep. I was buying coffees every now and again. I'm like, oh, let me go to Vida, get a coffee, or not coffee for me, it would be like tea or like whatever. So I was just purchasing a bit more. So that really is a little bit of lifestyle creep coming through. I saw it. I was like, That's lifestyle creep. You're allowing your life to increase, your lifestyle to increase slightly. And also was doing my nails. I was doing my nails quite a lot. Oh my gosh, almost every month or every 3 weeks. I started doing my eyelashes. I found this really good lash technician and I was hooked. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go there almost every 3 weeks or every month for my hour nap while she does my eyelashes. But yeah, I ended up doing my eyelashes consecutively. When I stand back and review, it is lifestyle creep coming through, saying, hey, you can afford to spoil yourself, you can afford to, what is it you guys call it, self-care, all of these things. I'm thinking of getting off that train for 2023, or at least slowing down a bit. So not maybe for special occasions or like special like birthday month or this, I can like do those things, not let it be like daily line items, I mean monthly line items on my budget, sometimes 3 weekly. I just remember how at some point I went to do my nails. I'm like, yo girl, I'll pay you after payday, because I was like doing them a few days before I got paid. And then as soon as I got home, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Just pay. Don't start that, because that's how you end up being in debt again. You don't realize, but it really is debt. You can't be doing your nails like, I'll pay you on payday because you guys are, you know, have a good relationship. So I was like, no man, let me still pay immediately. So those sort of things I really need to limit, or any other thing, Jay. But I've really identified those lifestyle creep things where it's just lifestyle inflation. I'm just increasing the amount of comfort that I enjoy because I think I'm well off or what, and the economy is saying otherwise. And my fourth and final blunder, this is just seriously a blunder, is that I have a Stoffel account that I contribute towards, and I'm the admin. I'm the admin. So with this Stockful account, we contribute a certain amount every month, and then in December we pay out the members. So this year I was like, oh no man, to get it's very few of us. In fact, this year it's a family thing. In fact, this year it's just me and 2022 it was just me and my husband. So in the stock file. So I was like, okay, cool, getting all this money and I'm putting it into this account. So I was like, no man, the interest rates were really low at the beginning of the year, right? And then they started increasing. So I said, no man, interest rates are low. To get a really good interest, let me put it into a 45-day notice account. Then I just must remember somewhere in October to do a notice so that we can get our cash out by December. Did I remember? Come December, we need this money, this Stockful money. I'm like, yo, this year it's in a 45-day notice account, and I didn't want to incur those fees. I refuse to pay penalties. So I had to find other avenues to make up that money and pay the other participant. So, and then find other avenues or cash sources for me to do whatever I needed to do, because usually that Stockful amount, it helps me towards having a 13th check for my helper and everything else. You know, December man, December we're spending. So all of that I had to be very conscious of, where am I gonna get the money from, because this thing is locked, and it's now still January and I still haven't I'm still in the 45 days waiting. But when it comes, I'm gonna be at least no, actually I won't be spending. I'll have to refill the holes that I opened up in order to be able to survive December and pay out the other participant of the stock file. So for me, yeah, that was a blunder, guys. You must always get the right account for your needs. So for me, this 45 days account wasn't the right account, or I should have really put a reminder much earlier so that I know I unlock these amounts. So that's something that I really should do better. I will definitely remember in October to put in that notice for December with regards to that stock file. But yeah, so that is basically the analysis of my 2022 financial year. I do also plan on doing monthly reviews. I want these monthly reviews to be detailed though. I want to show you the growth in my investment portfolio, what stocks did I purchase, did I dispose of any, and why. So if you guys want those detailed videos, let me know. But I'm thinking that if you guys do want those, I will definitely put them under a membership sort of thing, so that I don't just put my business out there for people who don't care. I want it to really be those members who do want to know and who do care and who will engage with the content. So that's definitely something I want to do, monthly reviews of my personal finances with numbers, but definitely for members. So that would definitely require a membership. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know and then I can work on that. But for now, that is all that I have. Thank you for tuning in, and I wish you a really great 2023. I will see you at the next one. Bye.